Okay, you guys, we're doing this a little differently. This is one of my random updates where I do my nails. I'm going to be using Grape Fizz by JL Lacquer and just a clear nail polish from Karma. What is this called? Karma Hues, and just the Insta-Dry from Sally Hansen. I've realized that I never actually describe what I'm using when I do these videos. So hopefully the audio is decent. That is a big question mark because I haven't recorded with this setup and the air conditioning on in this way. So it's all a big if right now. By the time you see this video, unless things go terribly awry, which they already sort of did, you should be able to see my latest writing blog. I did an update on the current state of the draft, just kind of like what edits are looking like. It's I think, hopefully, fingers crossed, I am past the messiest part of the draft as far as this. It's not a rewrite, it's a revision slash just final edit before contracting somebody to go through it with a fine-tooth comb. But essentially, I have rewritten much of the middle chapters, which were complicated. I've always had a hard time with that part of the novel. I think this edit makes it much stronger. I think I have addressed a lot of the character issues and conflicts that I was struggling with in earlier drafts, and I do think it will make for a much stronger plot, especially the romantic plot, which gets, like all the things kind of get thrown in there in this middle section. It's where a lot of that setup happens for the second half of the novel and the rising action, all that bit. So I think I'm past the big hurdle. There will, of course, be a few other chapters that may require some more finessing, but the round of 50 pages right after that, because I'm doing this in batches of 50 pages, went a lot faster. I had to do a few rewrites, expand a scene in the second character's point of view, and I think from now it should flow a little bit more smoothly. I hope, she says, with hope in her heart and little faith in the process otherwise. But it should be fine. My goal really is to get this finished by mid-November at the latest. I calculated that it should take me about 6 weeks if all keeps going to pace. And if that does happen, then as soon as I get to that stage, I will take a short break of at least a week or two between edits, between editing book 1 and then the first round of edits for book 2. My goal, as I've said before, is to have a 3-part series sort of ready to roll out starting in fall 2025. It won't roll out all at once. I'm not planning to like fast release within weeks, but I'm hoping within like 3 months of each other is my desirable goal. It may not be quite like that. I have a novella between books 1 and 2, and I have plans for novellas between 2 and 3, and then 3 and what will eventually be 4. I'm kind of seeing this as a 3-book and 3-book saga type of a deal. It's, a dynamic romance novel series. They're interconnected, but don't need to be read interconnectedly. Like, you can figure out what's going on with previous characters, but I do carry over characters. They remain in the story. They're all, like friends and up in each other's business and all that. So, a person who enjoys a character from like book 1 will see them again in later books. And my goal is to kind of like write it out as if a few years pass between books 3 and then book 6. And then that second 3-part series starting with book 6. But that's way far in the future. Right now I have 3 novels. I have one that has been edited very thoroughly, and then 2 that have been drafted. As I said before, I started this with the intention of trad pubbing, and then decided that I'm just going to take this series on my own, and maybe one day I will return to the trad pub journey. But I've been on that road a few times, and it just hasn't been for me for numerous reasons. So this is the way I'm going for now, and maybe one day, but for now my plan is to indie pub and just see how it goes. So that's the goal, but it does mean that in between, a lot of things kind of get like set aside, and that includes the major declutter that I've done in a piecemeal sort of a way. I haven't done a full top to bottom declutter, at least in 5 or 6 years. But I do regular, just rounds of decluttering, but the house does need a full declutter. I need to go through all the areas, but most especially I need to go into my closet, because that is where decor lives. That's where everything lives. I have one closet and everything lives in it, including like the pets crates, old drafts of things, decor for the holidays that I haven't even taken out in a few years because I kind of like lost interest in decorating for myself. I just kind of like keep out the stuff that I like. You'll see that I have like random Halloween decor that just kind of lives permanently out, but I need to go through that stuff and decide what gets to stay and what has to find a new home or be donated or something. But that's the plan. I really hope I get to it sometime in November. I think that would be the ideal, because then I can go through those pieces of, like fall decor especially, and any like lingering bits of Christmas stuff, figure out what am I keeping, what am I tossing, and what that's going to all look like. I need to give this a couple minutes, so I will speed through this and come back. Okay, that should be enough. Of course I nearly dropped the bottle. Smart. Yeah, so this should dry this stuff up in like a minute, at least a touch. This is a jelly nail polish, the purple one that I applied. It's fairly quick drying. It's got that like thin sheer look. I'm slowly transitioning from my summer colors to my fall to winter colors, which is just, the moody, darker stuff. But I'm also not quite ready to commit to a lot of the really dark tones, because right now I just chip a lot of nail polish, and at least this kind of hides itself a little bit better. When I am writing a lot, the nails kind of really go through it. Yeah, it's making my nose itch. Anyhow, I was struggling to get the last vlog off of my camera, so I'm hoping that that is actually out by the time you guys see this. But like I said, that video kind of goes through what a day in the life of me editing looks like. It's a pretty lengthy process, because right now I'm focusing on read-throughs during the week and then edits on weekends. So it's anywhere from 10 to 12 hours of edits across 2 days, split either 4 to 5, 6 hours, depending on how the work looks, and a lot of stuff just kind of doesn't happen otherwise. But this is a Sunday reset, and that includes doing my nails because it's a new week and I would like to start it right. So thank you for watching. I will hopefully hit you guys up with a budget update soon, and I try to fit in. I would like to do a couple more vlogs, but I don't know how that's going to work out. So you may see a few more writing updates in lieu of like going out vlogs in the future. But for now, check you all later and have a good one. Bye. Just for reference, this is what the color looks like in regular, just daylight. So just kind of sheer. I don't do acrylics or dip nails or anything like that, so I like that jelly look without having to do the actual gels. So yeah, that's what it looks like.